We'll
Call the Water Utilities Community Facility District to order. Roll call.
Chair Wilson,
Here.
Vice Chair Schroeder,
Here.
Board Member Cross,
Here.
Board Member Heck,
Here.
Board Member Johnson,
Here.
Board Member Nesser,
Present.
Board Member Soller.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, the approval of the minutes for the February 21st meeting. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Board Member Cross,
Yes.
Board Member Nesser,
Yes.
Board Member Soller,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schroeder,
Yes.
Board Member Heck,
Yes.
Chairman Wilson.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. District Manager's report.
I have no report, Your Honor.
District Director's report.
Good evening, Chairman Wilson, members of the board. There we go. So I'm going to give you a quick system update tonight. Our 30-inch transmission line that's coming up Ironwood. Last time I was here, we were roughly at about a mile. We're almost at 2 miles now, so we have about a mile left. It's moving along quite well. The 24-inch is still at the same location because they've concentrated on the 30-inch so far. So kind of an overall map here showing where we're at. This blue line is the 30-inch. We started at Ray, and now we're past Warner, slowly getting to our water campus located here that they're under construction at. And then we had another crew starting just north of the water campus that is past Elliott all the way up to Guadalupe here, as you can see. We're working on still getting our CAP permit to cross the canal here to get to our plant, but that should be taken care of here in the next week or two. So this project's moving along quite fast. We're hoping to have the 30-inch water line and the 24-inch up to the water campus done by the end of April. The water storage tank there, these are the walls that are currently out there. As you can see, they've completed all the walls, so the water will serpentine through the tank to keep it fresh, and we'll pump out of it to our distribution system here. Kind of just a preview. As you can see, they've slowly built around it. They have actually put part of the roof on already, so this is actually inside the tank. So this wall is about roughly 30 feet, so you can see what's happening here. And hopefully that will be finished here in the next month, I would say. The rest of the roof installed and then backfilled, so you guys will only be able to see just the top of it at that point in time. Any questions on some of our construction progress down there?
I guess the big question is, when's the road going to open back up again?
Unfortunately, I would probably tell you about 2 years from now it's going to be opened back up. Once we get done with the 30-inch and the 24-inch distribution, they will be starting on road construction here, I believe in April, May, taking probably 2 to 3 months. And once they're complete with that, we'll jump to the other side of the road and install a 24-inch non-potable line. That'll take another 6 months on that side of the road. So for water construction, it'll still be going on probably till the end of next year, early 2024. And then they'll have to pave that side of the road, which will take another 3 to 6 months after that. And then Public Works has some special projects coming up for us north of Elliott after that. So the road will be under construction for a long time. So luckily, this week they opened up Ray Road to the model homes. You guys may be aware of that. They are building quite a few homes down there. So we are in a mad rush to get water supplies down to this area. So they're looking to close on their first home still in June. So moving fast. If you haven't been down there, I would recommend going down there. There's 3 models and probably over 100 homes going up right now. So very fast.
Got a lot of buckets to carry the water, right?
What's that?
They'll have a lot of buckets to carry the water if you don't.
Yes.
Well, you can't sell homes till they have water, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yep.
There's no fire protection. There's no water service down there. So
So they're gonna be held up by you, or you're gonna, or whatever, so there's
it's
probably.
all timing. We're working on all kinds of ideas, but water will be available June 1st and sewer. But that is the other portion of it. You have to have both. So they're working through that, and also power from SRP. So they're working through that process and pushing through it. Quick update, utility billing, we approved our contract with them back in July. We finally got started. We've been giving them some data here and there. We met with them for the first time last week and went through all of our data so they can start transitioning our existing data to this new system. We're going through that, so our first pass was completed, should be by the end of the month. We went through coordinating on how all the fields are filled out. So we should see that here end of the week, so we can start talking through that process with them. Our go live date right now, we're hoping for July 1st, which is our fiscal year, start of that. But if not, it'll be August 1st. We're working on a campaign with Al Bravo and Matt McNulty here to start getting information out to our customers. Initially, we're going to send out a postcard to them, letting them know, hey, we have something new coming, utility billing, your account's going to change, things are going to start happening. And then each month, we're going to try updating them, social media, send out more paper inserts in their bills that are existing bills, and start explaining to them what's going to start happening. And hopefully in June, if everything's going right, we'll have some meetings to show people how to sign up for new online bill pay and different things here that will be available to us as part of this new utility billing software that we have. Any questions on that?
Don't see any.
Okay. Quick update, our water festival went out without a bang. We had 4 schools, 10 classes, over 275 fourth graders. We had over 35 volunteers from the city, the sewer district, the water district, from public Parks and Rec. Really appreciate all the help that we had out there. Some more pictures here. The mayor was out there. He joined us. Arizona Water Company that's here tonight. They had quite a few staff out there that helped us out there, which was great. Kids had a great day. It was a little chilly this year. As you can see, it was the day that snowed here in Apache Junction a couple weeks ago. So a little chilly, but we made it through it. So great turnout again, though. The only thing that happened is this school from Superior were unable to make it because they didn't want to drive the buses down the hill in the snow. So it was kind of disappointing for that.
I had to remove snow off my vehicle to come in.
We have Arizona Water Company here that's going to give us a presentation on their water rates system tonight. So I'd like to introduce Fred Schneider with Arizona Water Company.
Good evening, Chairman Wilson and members of the board. I want to say thank you very much for having us here tonight. What I'd like to update everybody on is the rate case we have filed. So I have a series of folks here who will be, see how I work this thing?
You want a different presentation pulled up?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. This one?
Yep, that's it. I'm going to move to the next, second one.
Then if you want to just press the arrow as you want to go forward, back and forth.
All right, perfect, thank you. So I'll do an overview of our company-wide, our Eastern Group rate case. Then I'll have James come up and talk about some of the projects we've completed that are part of this application. And then I'll have Kelly come up, our VP of Rates and Revenues, will come up and give a little more overview of the actual filing and what we're asking for in this rate case. And then Luca will come up and talk a little more about the demand management program that we're doing in coordination with the Water District. And then I'll come up and conclude if there's any questions. So quick overview of our company. I put some stats up here, but probably the most important thing on here is that you'll see we're kind of divided into 3 groups. We have the Eastern Group, the Western Group, and the Northern Group, and that's how we're divided up for rate case, for rate filings. And we are Apache Junction is part of the Eastern Group rate case. And we file rate cases every 3 to 5 years, and as Kelly will talk about, it's been close to 6 years since we actually had an adjustment to our rates as a rate filing for the Eastern Group. Some of the things that are driving our rate case and the need to adjust our rates. Since our last rate filing, we've invested $66 million in water infrastructure improvements since 2018, and we need to invest nearly $270 million more. Primary driving factors of that is replacing aging infrastructure. A lot of our infrastructure is getting old. It's time to start replacing it as part of roadway improvement projects that we might be doing. We have our additional arsenic removal facilities we have to construct to comply with the Safe Drinking Water Act. And most importantly, we have quite a few wells that are impacted by PFAS and the forever chemicals. So we're looking to have to make some large investments long-term to ramp up treatment technology. Still waiting for the federal government to come out with what those MCLs will be, but we're monitoring those and need to get ourselves prepared. We've implemented a water conservation program, but since 2003, with the work we've done already, we've seen our water rates, our water usage reduced by 30% for residential customers. So that obviously has an impact on the need for revenues. And as we all know, we're in the middle of a drought, and we have a need for additional water supplies. So one of the things we put in there is a need for sustainable water supply charge, so we can look to acquire additional supplies, be it water that might be available within the state of Arizona. Heard a lot of talk about raising Bartlett Dam, additional supplies to that. All those things that require additional money, to plan ahead for those additional supplies to make sure that we're always planning ahead and always have the next bucket of water ready to go. And of course, as you guys already know from what we see in the economy, we're having an increase in costs due to inflation, so we're having increase in operational maintenance costs. So same thing we're seeing across the board, increased costs for chemicals, materials, labor, and whatnot. So with that, I'll turn over to James to give a little overview of some of the things we've completed that are part of this rate application.
James Wilson, Assistant General Manager here in Apache Junction. Just wanted to give you a brief overview of our system here in the Apache Junction area. We've got our service area shown there in sort of light blue. The purple line is your City of Apache Junction planning area. And just some key facts about our system. We've got about 400 miles of water main, 7 active wells, 12 booster pumps, 12 booster pump stations, 39 booster pumps, 2 arsenic removal facilities, a little over 20,000 customers. Max day demand is a little over 13 million gallons a day, with an average day of almost 7, and a peak production capacity of 15.6 million. Storage capacity of about 19 million gallons. Some of the key projects that are included in the rate case application, one of the biggest ones are our office expansion. Our original office was built in 1993. At that time, we had about 9,000 customers and 13 employees. We've grown to 22,000 customers and approximately 50 employees working out of this office now. We had our grand opening in November of 2021 and had a lot of leaders from the community come out and help us celebrate that. Next project. The next 2 projects are actually related. They're both at the same site. The first one is our construction of our new 250,000 gallon storage tank. This tank was necessary so that we could take our 2 million gallon tank, which you see kind of next to it there, take that offline for maintenance. So we had to have something to operate off of while that was being performed. And that was completed in December of 2020. The 2 million gallon tank, we had done a previous inspection and determined all of the rafters needed to be replaced. It's kind of a long-term project, so we had to build this sort of exoskeleton. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it or saw it driving by. Our helipad or satellite dish, whatever you want to call it, was necessary just as a precaution until we could get in there to do the rafter replacements. And that project was completed in May of 2022. Another project we did here, just out in front of our office, actually, as part of the city's southern road widening project. Along with that, there was some drainage improvements that were in conflict with our 12-inch water main, and had to do 3 vertical realignments out front there. And that was completed in December of 19. We had various booster pump and well pump replacements, 10 of them throughout the system. Kind of ran some of the numbers. That's about 20% of our pump inventory that we've replaced during this rate cycle. So just some photos there of some of the work that we completed. Next project was a main extension that we ran from the Entrada del Oro. Just as you enter Entrada del Oro, we extended our main, our 16-inch main from that location all the way out to Ranch 160. It's about 19,000 feet of pipe. That would connect will connect the Ranch 160 development to Entrada del Oro and allow us to equip a well that we have out there and get some more supplies here into town. And that was completed in March of 22. And then the last project we had is various aging main replacement projects. One the main one pictured there was another project we worked with the city of AJ as part of their Delaware road improvement project. We replaced about 2,700 feet of 8-inch pipe and completed that in August of 2018. Any questions? With that, I'll hand it over to Raluca, and she can talk about it. Kelly Howard.
Thank you, Kelly Howard, on behalf of Arizona Water Company. So I thought it would be helpful first to just describe the process and how we change rates to you before we dive into the details of the rate case filing. So when we file our case with the Arizona Corporation Commission, in this case we filed it on December 15th of 2022. It's actually kind of an interesting process. We file reams of testimony from various witnesses. We file financials. We file a lot of engineering project information. Our case is probably about 10,000 pages, and we have to file 10 copies. So we actually have banker boxes that we have to bring out there on dollies and deliver it to the commission. So it's a lot of information. And so we filed that at the end of 2022, and then during 2023, the Arizona Corporation Commission staff, as well as interveners, the primary one being RUCO, the Residential Utility Consumers Office, they'll go through and audit our rate case. They'll make site visits. They'll come out and visit all the projects that James spoke about, as well as other ones, just to make sure that they agree with what we put into place, that they were prudently invested, that they agreed with whatever technology or infrastructure that we decided to do. We'll ultimately have a hearing in front of an administrative law judge who will preside over that, and then we'll ultimately issue a recommended order and opinion to the Arizona Corporation Commission, and they'll vote on that. The Arizona Corporation Commission is a statewide elected body. There's 5 members on the commission. So we filed it in the end of 2022. The earliest that the rates would take effect would be in early 2024, so about a year's time frame where they go through and actually audit the case. And as Fred mentioned, our last rate case where we changed our rates was in February of 2018. So it'll be a 6-year time frame from when we've changed our rates. Which leads to the next slide. So we have proposed about a 34% increase. It is a large increase, but again, if you take it over that 6-year time frame, it's about a 6% increase per year, which is about that inflation rate that we're seeing. Some of the key provisions of the rate case, Fred mentioned that we have to comply with whether it's arsenic standards or the upcoming forever chemicals. So we're proposing a surcharge to help us collect those costs outside of a rate case so that we don't have to wait another 6 years before those come in. Also, of course, very important is that sustainable water adjustment mechanism that Fred also mentioned, just to help us to recover the costs associated with whether it's Colorado River water, effluent, whatever that may be, is just to help us have that ability to be nimble and make adjustments as needed when those particular resources pop up. And then just continued authority for the cap water surcharge and system improvement benefits surcharge. This is our proposal. As I mentioned, the Arizona Corporation Commission will go through and audit it. I've never seen them accept a proposal, so I'm sure it'll be something different than what we proposed, but what it will be, I don't have that answer for you. But one thing we did want to note too for you is that we do have 2 programs, a low income as well as an active military program, and we offer a $10 a month credit on customers' bills. And so in the event customers qualify for that, it would basically offset the potential rate increase for those customers. It's a really simple process to sign up. If you're a low-income customer, you just have to show us a copy of another utility bill, whether it's your APS bill, SRP bill, your sewer bill, whatever it may be that shows you're on a low-income program, and they get signed up. You just have to write your name on a form, your account number, your address, and just show us the bill and you're signed up. And for active military, you just have to show us your ID. And so we try to make it as seamless as process as possible. But we do have those 2 programs that are out there, and just wanted to let you guys know so that it will help those customers that are most vulnerable. Is there any questions? If not, I'll turn it over to Raluca for probably better news than the rate increase news.
Great. Your Honor, or Chair, does the Corporation Commission tend to look more favorably towards a graduated price increase versus an all-at-once increase? I mean, the citizens that utilize your services, me being one of them, would much rather see a graduated increase. Hit me with 15% now and 5% over the next 2 years, versus this all at once. That sticker shock sometimes really gets people groaning.
That's a very fair point, and that's actually one of the reasons why we're proposing some of those surcharges that we mentioned on the last slide, is if we're able to get some more surcharges into effect, that would help us so that we'd be able to gradually increase those and not come in with that 30% next time. I don't have a great solution for this particular one. We don't have the mechanism right now to phase in those rates, but if we do get surcharges going forward, that would help us to phase in those rates so that when we come in the 5 years or so, we would have stair-stepped those up slightly.
Yes?
I have two questions for you. This, right here on page 15, just curious, out of 22,000 customers, how many do you have that are low income or active military?
That's a great question. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I can certainly find out for you.
Okay, that's not that big of a deal. The page before, page 14, you just mentioned about the proposed rates not including any surcharges. What's the average? How much are surcharges? So the $39.66 is going up to what actually?
So our proposal is that it would go up to that $52.96, and then so when it says not including any surcharges, so it's saying those surcharges on the bottom of that slide that's listed, it doesn't include any proposed surcharges. So if we were to receive that federal compliance cost recovery mechanism, it would be in addition to that $59. And as Fred mentioned, like for the forever chemicals in particular, that rule hasn't passed yet, and so we're not entirely sure what that would be, but it would give us that flexibility in the future to increase the rates outside of a rate case process. to
But you don't
recover
have
those.
any idea what ballpark figure? I'm just curious, because you're adding kind of apples and oranges here by one figure, you're saying it's includes surcharges, and then the other one says it doesn't include.
Oh, Sure, and let me clarify too, that's a great point. So in our current rates, we do have one surcharge for system improvement benefits, and so that would be rolled into the base rates. And so what we're saying is that we're trying to look at what your current bill is and comparing that to what your bill would be after the rate case rates go into effect. And so that's when we're saying including current surcharges, that's what your current bill is today.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Nope, don't see any additional questions.
Turn it over to Ruth.
Hello, Mayor and Council. It's good to be back and see everyone. I just wanted to give an update on the demand management program. Last time I came here, we were about to launch it, and now it's been about 3 weeks since our launch. It'll be 4 weeks on Saturday. So I wanted to get an update, give you guys an update, on how things are going and provide some highlights. So our launch was in line with the Lost Dutchman days. So on Saturday, Arizona Water Company and the Water District were out. We were out talking to people, letting people know about this program, answering questions. People came up to us with amazing questions about the Colorado River and conservation and why it's important, which I always love seeing when I'm talking to the public. We did get a photo with Councilmember Bambi, which I have not tracked down yet, but I will, and we'll incorporate it into a future slide one day. On Sunday, it was a little bit rainier, but the city was out there also promoting the program. Al was out there trying to talk to people. We had giveaways. We were trying to make it as engaging as possible just to make people aware that this is a resource that's available to them now. So what was included in the launch of the campaign, our landing page is now live. It explains what we're doing and why we're doing it and what people can expect from this program. Our social media platform, our Facebook page is live, and we're providing people with tips on how to find leaks indoors. And every single month we pick a new topic to provide people tips on for conservation. Our launch video is live. It features Mayor Wilson, myself, Bill Staples, Mike Loggins, and gosh, I'm so bad with names tonight, but Bryant Powell as well, just again talking about the program and why we're doing it. On February 7th and 8th, we conducted a few large landscape water audits on some city-owned facilities. So we had a company we have a contract with go out there and just check for leaks at these properties in the irrigation system, and we provided reports to city staff on what improvements they can make in the irrigation infrastructure out there. So just another way that we're trying to incorporate conservation from a commercial perspective. Also, Mike mentioned the water festival that we had. It was an absolute hit. It was amazing to be able to see snow on the Superstitions. We also did a presentation to the Unified School District on the 28th, talking to them about this program. I'm trying to get in to a partnership with the school district. That way we can do these large landscape water audits that I just mentioned, but at the schools as well, to try and help the schools conserve some water. And then on the 13th, I met with the Youth Advisory Committee. I know that they're going to come up and talk to you guys here in the next few weeks, but trying to get them involved in helping spread the message about conservation, what our water resources are, and stuff like that. So we have very exciting things coming down the pipe, trying to get people involved and trying to really spread this message of conservation and get in front of educating people on water resource issues that are coming up. And what you guys can expect in the next few months is we're going to put together a water journey video that's going to explain how Arizona Water Company gets our water to provide to the city of AJ and the water district. So that's going to be a really amazing tool to educate people on where their water comes from and all the hard work that utility staff go through in order to provide water to the city of Apache Junction. And you guys are more than welcome to use that at your disposal once it's up and live. It's a super quick update. I know that I'm just a little bit over time, but I wanted to open it up to questions that you guys may have over conservation or anything that was presented tonight.
Any questions? No. Any questions? Nope.
Well,
Thank you.
If I could just add one last thing. So what we want to do tonight was educate you on our rate case application and what's in it. We're not looking for any letters to support anything from the city. It's our application, our process to go through. But I want to make sure when people come in and talk to you or you see somebody walking out of the store and they ask you, that you don't get caught by surprise on our application. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Bill, Kelly, myself, any of us, and be more than happy to provide any answers, any questions you have, but just want to make sure you knew what we were doing, so when the community asks, you're informed. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, District Treasurer's report. No report. And I will adjourn this session and get ready to start the next one.